Well, yeah, how y'all doing? Welcome back to MajorSlackVideos. Here first off for titillating tactical gaming. I'm playing some more Command and Conquer. This is Nod Mission 3, and let's use this mission to demonstrate a couple of playstyles, a couple of vastly different playstyles. I talked about this earlier, the dirty sledgehammer approach. This is the dirty sledgehammer approach. I just put all of my units into one big motley crew of a team. Total disregard for each particular unit's abilities and functions, and I'm just going to build a small attack force, throw it at the enemy base, and use that as a diversion, and quickly run in an engineer and get the job done. And I'm going to suffer immense casualties to do this. I'm going to take on 25 casualties. I'm going to need 25 casualties to get this job done, right? But the mission will be over in about 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes and 20 seconds to be exact. And yeah, so this is the dirty sledgehammer approach, quick and dirty. And I'm even going to sell my construction yard. Total disregard for you know, any kind of aesthetic strategy. See, there goes the construction yard. Usually you get an engineer, so now I have to actually build an engineer, because this mission requires you to take over a building. You have to take over a prison. There you go. There's my motley crew, built in less than a minute and a half. Now I'm just going to throw it at the enemies and the enemy base. Total disregard. I don't care who survives. I'm a son of a bitch of a commander. Get in there. Yeah, I'm demonstrating this because this is bound to come up as I do other missions. You know, you guys are going to be wondering, what are you doing, Slack? Why don't you just like do it like this? Personally, I don't think this is very much fun at all. I don't enjoy playing it like this at all. I think it's kind of a very base, disrespectful way of playing. So there's my diversion. My attack force is creating havoc in the enemy base, and there goes my engineer. He's rushing in. The prison that we have to take over is right over here. Take over the prison, and boom, mission over. That's it. That's it. Dirty sledgehammer. And most Command and Conquer players I know play like that. I don't know. Like I said, you know, the developers went to all this trouble to create different units with different abilities, and if you just throw them all in one big motley crew and throw it at the enemy, I mean, what's the point, you know? But I got the job done quickly, so my efficiency score is pretty high, but my overall score is lower than the surgical method, which I'm going to show you after this. And look at my casualty count. 25 men went down in the space of 2 minutes. You know, I just personally, I don't feel like a very good commander doing that. Not at all. I just I mean, the whole name of the game is Command and Conquer. And what would a real-time strategy game be if you didn't actually apply some strategy? Okay, here we go again. The surgical method. I'm going to do this mission, and I'm only going to suffer 2 casualties. Okay, it's going to take a little longer. But this is the way I prefer to play. I much prefer to play like this. It's a lot more fun. It's more challenging, and it's just more interesting. It's more aesthetically beautiful to watch, I think. Anyways, what do you think? Post a comment. What do you prefer, dirty sledgehammer or surgical? So what I want to do is carefully choose where to set up my base, because I want to minimize the number of casualties. And right away, I'm taking anybody who's in the red or in the yellow and putting them off away from the action, basically in a kind of like a makeshift field hospital, because they're highly likely to die. So this is where we've chosen for our base, because it's got a beautiful choke point. The enemy can only come at you from one direction, so it's a great choke point, and there's lots of Tiberium up there to harvest. So deploy the MCV and start building. First thing I'm going to do is
construction complete.
Kind of spider down a little bit and build my hand of Nod south, right near the action, so that as enemies come in, my new infantry will be able to take care of them right away. Got another guy in the red, so put him up in the field hospital. building the refinery now
Construction
and
complete.
cranking out the
Building.
minigunners,
Unit ready.
because
New construction options.
the more the
Building.
merrier.
Unit ready.
Note that I left
Building.
my recon bikes and
Unit
my
ready.
bazookas right where
Building.
at the starting point. I didn't even grab them
Unit
because they're
ready.
safe there. They're safe
Building.
there.
Unit
So I don't want to waste
ready.
time moving them just yet.
Building.
So it's cranking out the
Unit
minigunners.
ready. Building.
This is going to be
Unit
what I call
ready.
alpha team.
Building.
Going to do all the heavy
Unit
lifting.
Ready. Building. Unit ready.
Reporting.
Okay, there's a nice little alpha team.
Moving out.
These guys are going to guard the base. And here's my recon
Yes,
bikes.
sir.
And they are going to do
Moving out.
Building.
recon. Yeah. And protect the base from the west side.
Waiting orders. Affirmative.
Here's my bazooka guy. It's going to use all of these units.
Affirmative.
Okay? Each one has a specific
Yes, sir.
ability. And I'm going to use all the units' abilities. Recon bikes move very quickly.
Yes, sir.
Bazooka guys obviously are heavy hitters,
Building.
but they move slower.
Unit ready.
Minigunners are
Building.
grunts.
Unit ready. Building.
And engineers
Unit
can
ready.
take over
Building.
enemy buildings.
Unit ready.
So I'm going to
Building.
totally pwn that base.
Unit
Completely pwn
ready.
that base.
Awaiting order. Roger.
And suffer only 2 casualties.
Ready and waiting.
And the casualties
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
are not even mine. They're like
Moving out.
casualties from buildings, enemy buildings that I take over.
Yes,
And it basically just can't be helped because the enemy guns them down too
Vehicle
fast.
reporting. Yes, sir.
Okay, now we're going to do a little recon with the recon bike.
Building.
That's what it's for.
Acknowledge.
It moves very quickly. Gets in and out of situations very quickly. So
Acknowledge.
go find a chink in the enemy's armor. It's up this way.
Building.
Just clear the path and sucker the enemy into coming into my attack force, my alpha team. Blow them away.
Unit ready.
Away, sir. Reporting.
Got another casualty or like a wounded guy, so we'll send him up away. Keep my alpha team fresh.
Yes, sir.
Choose a fresh recon bike.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Roger.
Note I built a couple of engineers. They're ready. They're my like special ops.
Acknowledged.
Okay, so here's the chink in the enemy's armor.
Affirmative.
Up here in the base is like a hole, okay? And you can chew through the sandbags, no problem.
Building.
And basically you've got a back door
Building.
right into the enemy base, no problem.
Construction complete.
So the recon bikes can blow away sandbags. Anything with explosive power can blow away sandbags, like bazooka guys or recon bikes.
Affirmative.
Minigunners cannot destroy sandbags. Okay, so we've got the guy's construction yard completely exposed. His back end is completely exposed. All we have to do is sneak an engineer in there, and we've got his construction yard.
Unit report. Affirmative.
As soon as I capture his construction yard, I'm going to sell it.
Awaiting orders.
Because it's worth about $1,000, depending on how fast I can sell it before it gets damaged.
Moving out.
And then it's gonna produce it's gonna spawn 4 infantry. Gonna grab them, move them out. If I leave it there, it's gonna get destroyed because there's a guard tower right there, just south of the construction yard. So there's no point leaving it there. I'd have to, expend a lot of casualties just to preserve it.
Moving out.
Here we go. I'm getting the cell sign ready. Sell it right away.
Yes, sir.
And
Base is under
you
attack.
can see the guard tower there. The guard tower gunned down one of my, usually spawns 5 guys, okay? When you sell a construction yard, the guard tower gunned down one
Roger.
of those guys right away before you can even grab him. So that was one of my casualties, okay?
Reporting.
Now we're gonna do the same thing with the barracks. That's the most important building right now in the enemy base is barracks. That's the only way he can build any kind of defenses is his barracks.
Affirmative. Roger. Affirmative. Moving
After
out.
that, he'll be completely helpless.
Yes, sir.
They're chasing my engineer.
Reporting. Moving out. You got it. Yes, sir.
As long as he's got money, he can pump out more infantry.
Reporting.
So that's priority number 1 right now. He can't build any more buildings because the construction yard is down.
Roger. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Okay, the same deal here. I'm just going to rush the engineer in.
Moving out.
The barracks usually spawns either 1 infantry or 1 civilian. In this case, it spawns a civilian, and I couldn't save him.
Unit lost.
Civilians are really weak.
Reporting.
So that was my other casualty, and that's it. That's the only 2 casualties I suffered in this entire mission.
Right away, sir.
Now, the enemy is completely pwned. He's crippled. He's totally crippled. He's only got the infantry that he has left. He can't build anymore, and he can't build any more buildings.
Affirmative.
So, build another engineer, and we're going to chew a hole in his sandbag defense through to his refinery.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because there's still the guard tower to be to deal with. That's a force to be reckoned with. That guard tower
Moving out. Moving
that
out.
can chew through a lot of infantry.
You got it. Roger. Moving out.
Okay, so war of attrition here.
Reporting.
Alpha team took a bit of a
Right away,
beating.
sir.
Send the wounded up to the hospital.
Unit reporting. Yes.
Silos needed.
Moving out.
Building. Construction complete.
Reporting.
Making lots of money here.
Building.
Oh yeah, and there's 2 new things in this mission.
Construction
Grenadiers.
complete.
The enemy now has grenadiers. You may have noticed that.
Right away, sir.
And we are now able to build a radar. Radar goes down when you don't have enough power. So as you can see, there's a little mini map up in the top right corner there. Shows enemy units. Enemy
Yes, sir.
units will appear as
Affirmative.
little yellow dots.
Moving out.
So now I want to continue chewing a hole through the sandbags, get through to the refinery.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Now we have a
Moving
hole.
out.
We
Moving
can
out.
access the refinery from the back door. And here comes the last of the enemy's infantry.
Awaiting orders.
He's dead meat.
Ready and waiting. Moving out.
And let's send in special ops,
You got it.
aka engineer.
Affirmative. Moving out. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Now what I want to do is
Moving out.
take over this refinery when the harvester is in, and I could just see him in the top left corner there, but I didn't notice that as I was playing. So now I have to bring in the recon bike, zip him in to get a better view of the refinery. Here I can see fully see the refinery now,
Affirmative. Moving out.
and now I'm just gonna wait for the harvester to come back and then send in my engineer.
Silos needed. Building. Construction complete.
The scroll rate is kind of slow for some reason. I think this is Fraps doing this.
Reporting.
Okay, so the enemy harvester came in, take over the
Building
refinery.
captured.
Refinery belongs to us. There's only 2 enemy buildings left. There's silos, which I'm going to take over as well for the money,
Got it.
and their power plants. Now I want to do a little diversion here. I'm going to use the harvester as a decoy, send it up against the guard tower, and while the guard tower is chewing away on the harvester, I'm going to use the bazooka guys to destroy the guard tower. And this is a good strategy because the harvester has got a lot of hit points,
Moving out.
so he can withstand a beating. Okay, so the guard tower is chewing away on the harvester. Send in the bazooka guys. Guard tower destroyed.
Unit reporting.
Last enemy unit destroyed, and that's it.
Moving out. Affirmative.
Now it's just routine. I'm gonna take over those 2 silos to get the money, destroy the 2 power plants,
Sir. Affirmative.
and finally take over the prison to win the game, or win the beat the mission. So that's the surgical method.
Building.
Ready and waiting.
Once again, this is the
complete.
method of
Yes,
this is
sir.
the playstyle I much prefer. This is like, to me, real command and conquer.
Knowledge.
You know, I mean, there's no point in having a real-time strategy game, like I said, if you're not going
Yes,
to
sir.
actually use any strategy.
Knowledge.
You know, and as a commander, I like to I don't know. I like to preserve my troops. You know, I care about my troops. I don't want them dying, and you know,
Construction complete.
like I don't want to like play Nick Nolte in the Thin Red Line. I want a full frontal attack right now up the front. You know,
Building
it's like
captured.
it's not my playstyle. I don't know. What's yours? Post a comment. What do you think? Surgical or quick and dirty?
Ready and waiting. Moving out.
GDI building captured.
Unit reporting. Roger. Moving out. Moving out.
Building.
Unit right away, sir.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Moving
So
out.
get an engineer ready to take over the prison, and it's just a matter of destroying the last two buildings. You don't have to do this.
Our base
But I
is
do
under
it anyways.
attack.
And the harvester ran over that last guy. It's pretty funny. Okay, so I've totally pwned him. Only suffered 2 casualties.
Moving out.
Time to beat the mission. Send the engineer into the prison. Take over the prison.
You got it.
And
Affirmative.
GD mission.
mission accomplished. And I managed to get a higher score. Considerably higher. 298, I believe. Whereas the quick and dirty method only got 260. And of course I made a hell of a lot more money. And there you go. 2 casualties. So that's it. When you're in the army of Slack, you don't get whacked. Yeah. And that's it for this video. I want to thank you all very much for watching. And if you thought this video was remotely entertaining, hey, don't forget to give the old Slackster a thumbs up. And that's it. Slack is out.